This video will contain spoilers for chapter 210 and 211 of Undead Unluck. If you're not caught up, please come back later when you have. Okay, so I didn't put a chapter review out last week. That's simply because one of my best mates, Sol, the one who joined me for all of the season 1 reviews and discussions videos, they were fleeing the country last week due to tax purposes. I won't get into it, but you know, one of your best mates leaving the country for a bit, that's shitty. So I didn't really have any energy and just wanted to, save it up just to spend some last time with them before they go. They're coming back, don't worry, I'll be back for season 2. But yeah, so 210 and 211. Let's just get into the recap for both of them, and then let's just discuss everything as a whole, what happened, because so chapter 210, we have two different points of views that we follow through in the chapter. More of a background point of view we see is the actual festival itself, which we learn is the Starline Festival, set up by Kururu herself. It is a tournament. Our idol arc is also a tournament arc, but as we've seen 211, we don't really see the tournament itself as a whole. We just see like 3 performances at most. But in this chapter, we get to see the original idol group that Kaide was performing with, Unison. I believe they're still going for the name in 211, but the original band members being Rip, Shen, Billy, and Tella. As she goes on, and we see her do a pretty good performance in a lively show and actually win this first matchup against idol group Shinkan Girls, which, as far as I can tell, isn't a real life idol group. But the main chunk of the chapter is actually focusing on Fuka and Sean going to see her dad, writer Izumo, who we learn he's the one to have the Izumo family name. And the majority of the chapter is Fuka and writer having a nice one-to-one heartwarming discussion of just talking about Kaide, what his feelings are towards Kaide, and him essentially admitting that he is in love with her. However, he feels like he's not good enough for her, as she has the potential to be a massive idol, and he doesn't want to drag her down. To which Fuka goes, Kaide needs you, she's already in love with you, you've made her in love with you, so stop using your cowardice as an excuse to try and run away. And as she's doing that, Sean pulls her off as she's starting to fade away a bit more. Next page, we get flashbanged up with the son of a bitch Soul. Soul comes on through, and we finally get to understand what's happening with Fuko, which the explanation's a little bit weird here. Essentially, while everyone has a soul, there's also a vessel that contains the soul, and Fuko's vessel is reaching its limit. Its vessels are normally supposed to only last for about 100 years before they fade away. Fuko has lasted much longer than that, but she's reaching her limit. And to, I think, refresh her vessel or like re-empower it or something like that, Fuko needs a new vessel while her parents getting together and giving birth to her, which I'll discuss what I think's like the reality of it, like in the discussion part. But yeah, Soul gets to inform us of that, and then we live on the cliffhanger of seeing Kururu finally, who looks a lot different and has a different energy from the previous loop. Now onto chapter 211, which we open up with a flashback to just a random day in December of the last loop when Fuka was part of when she's having a little girlies night with Bunny, Sadako, and Latla. Yeah, a scene that seems to be lifted directly from the second light novel, as you can see on the cover of it. I don't know exactly how one-to-one this page is to the scene, like if this is a direct bit of dialogue from the light novel or something. We then get onto the next page where Fuko's explaining to the 4 band members essentially why they are where they are, which essentially the reason why Rip, Shen, and Billy specifically are part of the band is because they're all in love. So due to Fuko's understanding of UnChaste from the prior loop, they shouldn't have been affected. And Tellus there essentially is bait. Tellus there just so if UnChaste does activate, they can tell from his actions and not just having to focus on the audience, which honestly, fair enough. I understand that. Fuko had an excellent idea there. But then we cut back to present day, and we get to see Kururu's performance in the semi-finals of this tournament, and well, she is completely different, it seems. That menacing aura she had in the end of the last chapter, no, that weren't bait like people thought it was going to be. This was true. First of all, she's doing death metal now, it seems, from what Sean said. Second of all, she just already has UnChaste, activates it off the rip, and she steals the boys. She has stolen them all, and they are now performing for her through UnChaste. They switch sides over to there, and what we're all thinking gets confirmed instantly by Soul. Soul has gifted her like some power of theirs, and evolved UnChaste into something much more frightening. Now, while we have a little understanding idea of what it is from speculation in this chapter, we don't have a full description of what UnChaste now does. But after the performance, Kaide tries to see what the hell's going on, to which Rip gets in the rage to be like, nah, she's locked in right now, leave her be. To which, after a back and forth with Sadako and Kaide, where Sadako's just like, look, you've got something I don't have, and I'm sick of losing to you, so I'm gonna show to you I'm the better idol. Sadako is full fucking antagonist in a minute. Not fully sure why, if this is mind control from Soul or what's going on, but Sadako is just pure evil now. To which, after that interaction, Latla and Veronica, with Betty on her shoulders, come through and just face plants their husbands into the floor, just pissed off them. Veronica with a fucking shotgun to the back of Billy's cranium. Good lord, she's just so much cooler because of this one page alone. They're getting pissy at their husbands for seemingly crushing on Sadako now, with Moi just being the most level-headed one out of everyone here. To which Fuko just goes, alright, everyone calm down. Billy, Rip, where did you first meet Sadako? And the answers they give here, with Rip being France in her yard, and Billy being on the battlefield as an opposing merc. As Fuko says, it seems to be that UnChaste has altered their memories to swap out their loved ones for her, making them infatuated for her. So it seems to have become a much more potent and frightening form of mind control that it was before. Because before it was kind of mind control, now it seems to be fully just you on mine now. And even Shen getting in on this, giving a similar answer of describing when he met Moi, but instead it being Sadako. So after the little discussion of just being like, what the fuck is going on, Kaide just locks the fuck and just goes, nah, I'm an idol. I got this, I ain't finna be losing. To which that energy from her brings Fuko's arm not fully back, but partially back, seemingly putting us on the path of her getting with Reuter. And we end this chapter off with seemingly the final performance going on, with Sadako now having the boy members of Unison, and Kaide now having an all-girls group making off Fuko, Moi, Latla, and Julia. So, there was a lot to discuss, and I'll be honest, most of it is in 211. But as for chapter 210, it was a really good chapter. I did like the little bits we got off Kaide with the boy members of Unison. That was cute. But the discussion between Fuko and Reuter is what carried the chapter. It was such a heartfelt discussion that you could genuinely see that both of them fucking care about Kaide. Specifically Reuter, the way he talks about it, it doesn't give the impression of just a fan that is obsessed with an idol. It's giving the impression of someone who does genuinely love and care. For as we see with him living in the same building complex as her, the neighbour who's also an idol, he cares and loves for her and wants what's best for her, but he's doing the accidental selfish thing of what he thinks is best for her is just reaffirming his beliefs that he's not good enough for her and just accidentally putting what she really needs to the side, thinking what's best for her. Something that we do see some multiple times in Undead Unluck, sticking with this theme. First of all, the one-to-one discussion with them is genuinely good. I do like it a lot, and respect to Suzuka's right and also Sean as a character for not interrupting and giving their 2 cents, except for to help Fuko realize like, psst, he's a dumbass. But also, I love Fuko's response here of calling him out on it, being like, you're using an excuse, you're trying to run away and be a coward. Fucking cut it out, okay? You love and you care for her, and your time with her has made her love you and care for you too. And you pushing her to the race side by doing what you selfishly thinks she needs is not good. You're fucking up here. Get back to it. Get back to the woman you love. I loved it. These kind of one-to-one discussions, Tezuka always does amazingly, and this one right here is again just. As for this bit with Soul right here, with revealing what the fuck's going on, I think this is just Tezuka's way of explaining the paradox. It's not being a paradox, but mechanically speaking, it's still a fucking paradox. It's still the exact same paradox of if they don't get together and fall in love and whatnot, Fuko fades away. But since it's not time travel, it can't realistically be a paradox, so Tezuka has to describe it as this. But it's still that paradox. If Kaide and Reuter get together, Fuko's body is going to stop fading away. It's going to rebuild itself because they're going to create a sort of second vessel of Fuko in this world, which will reinvigorate her actual vessel. I don't think it's going to be anything twisted or dark of like Fuko becoming this little baby. again, or like absorbing the baby. I think it's literally just going to be, there's going to be a little baby Fuko in the world that's different. Either way, it's just Asuka's way of describing a paradox as not a paradox. Since this is what I would have talked about if I discussed this chapter last week, I'll discuss it here. I really like Sadako's new design. It's a lot better than her original design. Her original design was okay. It wasn't a bad design, but it was more of a boring, uninteresting design. This is cool. I like this new design of hers. It looks sick, and I hope she sticks with it. Now, moving on to what's going to be the main meat of potatoes of this video, 211. So, first of all, this little discussion here at the start, again, it is from the light novels. I don't know how, like, direct it's ripped from the light novels, so whether it's, like, an unseen part of that chapter, or if it's literally just some lines ripped straight from it. But it's a cute moment. And Fugo's plan, like I said earlier, it was a smart plan. It was a smart plan with the information she had. 4 band members, 3 of them who can't be affected by what we believe UnChaste to be, and 1 of them who will be, and we can basically use to keep an eye out for the manifestation instead of just focusing on the audience. It's a clever idea. I like it and I respect it a lot. Unfortunately, Sadako already has UnChaste and it's completely fucking different. What? So, this whole new Sadako, I've been saying that she's going to get her power up in this arc. I didn't realise it was going to be so soon and so fucking insane. First of all, one way that's wrong that I haven't thought about is it doesn't seem to be when she hits a post now. It seemed to trigger as soon as she screamed into the fucking mic. So it might be a sound-based one now instead of the hitting the cute idol pose. Second of all, before UnChaste just made it so you bum rushed her, now it just makes you infatuated with her. It makes you in love with her by altering your fucking memories. And it doesn't seem to have a limit on... Well, before we saw nothing of it, so it's pure speculation on my part right now. But before, I believe it was just like, it happened, you bum rushed her, and then you sort of like clear over after a bit. They're seemingly going to be under her control for a bit now. Like, it's not just the whole time. She has grabbed your mind and it's hers now until she either releases you or there's a time limit and it's just longer than before. Either way, UnChaste got a fucking power boost. We know negations can affect Umas. Sadako's going to be able to control Umas. Is that going to be her role in the final war? Any Umas that Sun is using just to fucking grab their hearts and make the Umas work for her? Oh, fuck. Oh, already Sadako is so much better than the 100th Loop variant. The 100th Loop variant, she was honestly one of the least interesting characters. She was there, and she weren't even there for Ragnarok. She was somewhere else. Here, she is fucking cool. Her design upgraded, UnChaste upgraded and useful, and the potential for how it could maybe even grow even more now I'm not thinking of, and also what can be for future fights so much more interesting. I love UnChaste so much. Sadako is being done justice already. I fucking love this so much. And even then, this is a lot of speculation, because how the fuck did Teller get taken as well? Because she didn't just take the 3 that were in love, she took Teller as well. So either Teller is in love with someone we haven't realised, or there's something else to UnChaste. Maybe it could possibly be that if you are in love, it alters the moment that you fell in love, or it replaces your loved one with Sadako, and if you're not, it implants love of Sadako into your brain. That's the best I can think of. Either way, now, UnChaste is the league's fucking stronger than before, and that's so fucking cool. As for this little interaction between Kaide and Sadako, I'm so intrigued as to what's happened to Sadako. Well, obviously we know there's a little bit of soul going on up in there to make her fully evil for a bit, which I don't think... I do see her like getting cleansed of soul's influence and joining Union easily, but I don't think it's full control from Soul. I do think Soul just tempted her with power to bring her on the side. Something weird enough, I think this is similar to Ruin becoming a regulator, since Ruin was just a negator. I think it's something along the lines of that, but my question is, what happened? Because Kaide does seem to realise what Sadako's going on about. Because Sadako's going on about Kaide having something that Sadako doesn't, and what I think that is what Writer was talking about last chapter, with being able to perform for the audience, not for yourself. Similar to the Unburn arc with making bowls of ramen, not just for everyone, but someone specifically. I think Kaide's, as we learned from Moide, Kaide's able to perform specifically for the audience she has in front of her, not just to please her own dreams as an idol. And Sadako doesn't have that and hasn't realised that's the difference between them. But obviously, Kaide doesn't realise that. There's a whole lot of just not using fully words here. I am liking it a lot because it's giving me time to speculate. But I love this sudden twist that Sadako's kind of jealous of Kaide. As it seems like Kaide is just the better idol, and Sadako is jealous. That's why she's, gone all fucking regulator on us. And I am so looking forward to hopefully seeing potential flashbacks to when they were like in the idol group together and seeing what the fuck happened. We then get to the wives jumping on their husbands. I fucking love this moment. This moment was hilarious. Also, this chapter does so good for Veronica because she hasn't really reappeared since they travelled through time, which there's a lot of characters. I don't expect everyone to get screen time. But Veronica coming through with a fucking shotgun pointed at the back of Billy's cranium with Betty just having the time of her fucking life enjoying this. And also, Billy's line here, because as we speculate, Sadako is implanted herself into where the person that they love is in their memories. And Billy's line here of how he met Sadako on the battlefield as an opposing merc, that highly implies that Veronica used to be a merc alongside Billy. Not even alongside Billy. Used to be a fucking merc and met Billy on the battlefield as an enemy. They're enemies to lovers. That's that's really cool. Just that much fucking hinting towards Veronica's back. I don't expect any more to come out of Veronica other than these other cute moments. But the fact that we learned that from these 2 pages that Veronica used to be a merc, met Billy on the battlefield, they fell in love, and well, they are where they are now. So much fucking character development. Not even a background, an extra character. It's really cool stuff. Also, I loved like here just getting in on Rip. Just what the fuck are you going on about? You're leaving me for Sadako. What about our fucking wedding? Fuck you, divorce me, bitch. And again, speaking on character moments, these 2 little bomb panels between what seems to be Nico and Move. An oddly funny chapter this is. It's an oddly funny chapter with great character moments and also great revelations because Tezuka cannot let us fucking rest for long. My question here though, as Fuka says what we're all thinking, UnChaste has evolved to now alter the memories of the loved ones. Still wanting to know how the fuck it's affecting Teller. But what I want to know is how are the soul powers coming into it? Because from the aura we saw from Sadako at the end of last chapter, even though Kaide does also have it, I do fully believe there's some soul-based manipulation going on in UnChaste here. And what I want to know is how it's affecting UnChaste and how UnChaste is without the soul powers. Because soul has their influence in on this. I think they've unlocked Kaide's like soul manipulation. I want to see how that's affecting UnChaste, and if it isn't, how will it affect UnChaste? And I kind of did gloss over this as I was going through the recaps because I've got 2 chapters to recap, but we did get an actual little cut to Ryder in his home just smoking up a storm, which, as everyone pointed out last week, the fact that the men of the Zumo family, as soon as their loved ones gone with Andy and Ryder, they just smoke up a fucking storm. It's a cute little character moment, but I'm really intrigued into Sean still being there, if he's going to have a moment with Ryder similar to how he did with Chikara, and what Ryder is writing up, because you see he's got pen and paper and he's writing something up right now. It was presumably a message for Kaide. What it is and what Sean's role is going to be in this, because I don't think this moment ain't going to be developed on. I do think we are going to get a Sean moment, not next chapter, but maybe the chapter after. But this final page here, like 2 pages here, I do love it a lot. They're like split down the middle, like kind of like the cross with Kaide and Sadako making up one full face from their house, and also just the 2 idol groups. It's cool. A little personal gripe of mine. I understand why Julia's there, because Julia, Julia's kind of like, I don't want to say taking up Gina's right hand woman spot. Julia is like a main cast member now. She's going to be here a lot. I do kind of wish it was Veronica instead of Julia though, for the simple thing of like Moi, Shen, Latla, Rit. I guess Fuko and Teller, because neither of them love each other, but like you know. And I wish we had Veronica for Billy, because we also have Sadako and Kaide, because I do believe it's like a friendly, like, love that they have for each other. People, I like the memes of the Toxic Yuri, but realistically, it's just like friends. Really, that's specifically on Kaide's half. She loves Kaide as a friend. She's a close friend that she loves a lot. And I'm having difficulty finding words, but yeah, I kind of wish it was Veronica there instead of Julia. I understand why it is Julia, because she's part of the main cast. I just really wish it was Veronica there, because it would have been a cool parallel for like the band members versus the band members, and then the idols fitting within that parallels going on. Yeah, these last two chapters have been fucking amazing. As for my predictions as to what's to come next, I do think we're going to be getting, like, obviously not in detailed panel for panel, multiple panels performance, but I do think we're going to be getting each of their performance across the next chapter, maybe 2 chapters. And I also do think we're going to be getting I do hope we're going to be getting flashbacks of Kaide and Sadako, them in the past when they were in a similar idol group, what exactly happened with Kaide leaving and how Sadako felt about that, and what's happened to Sadako in the meantime as she's gone up, and the interaction with Soul, how she met Soul, what Soul like offered to her, and what Soul is like. I'm looking at this final page on screen and it looks like they have the little soul or around their pupil. Kaide has not unlocked soul manipulation, has she? Nah, I don't see it. But yeah, I'm hoping for flashbacks across the next few chapters to follow the story of Kaide and Sadako's relationship, when they were in an idol group together, when they split up, what happened to Sadako afterwards, and how Sadako came across Soul to eventually unlock UnChaste, get this evolved form of it, and get herself to make this idol tournament, because she did make it and invite Kaide because she wants to fight Kaide and prove that she's the better idol now. And this is less prediction but more hope. I want to find out how the fuck Teller got affected by UnChaste. I'm assuming we're going to find out when we learn the proper mechanics of it. I just hope to find out, because how the fuck did he get affected? He specifically does not have anyone in his heart that he loves. Unless fucking Tetsuga's actually just gonna make Billy X Teller canon, which would be funny. But I don't actually know. I do think we're gonna find out when we learn the true mechanics of UnChaste. But overall, these last 2 chapters were really fucking good. I did like 210 a lot, but 211 has kind of outshone it for me. I know I was discussing both today and there's mostly 211, but that's because it's the fresher one. But I loved both of these chapters so fucking much, and the art of these last 2 chapters they've been so fucking good. I'm loving it to bits. This Idol Festival, again, as I've said in prior arcs, while I do think it's shorter in a minute, I feel like it has just one worry I have with less about the chapters and more so this arc going forward. I do think it's going to end soon. I do think it's going to be like a lot of these 101st loop arcs where they're shorter than I want them. I just want these arcs to be longer. It's gotten better recently, but I feel like this arc's only going to be like at most 3 more chapters, which I am kind of worried about, because instead of worry, I just want more. I want the arcs to start getting a bit longer, because they're just so fucking but yeah, that's gonna be it from me this week. I really love these 2 chapters and I cannot wait to see what we get next, and I hope you'll join me in seeing. See ya.